So here's what I'm learning about having rail on my property and something that you can actually do on your property as well if you have rail on your property. To me, I found this super interesting because only a couple of weeks ago, I just found out I had rail on my property because somebody knocked on my door because my neighbors, Sylvite, huge fertilizer company, 300 million plus a year, and they wanted to purchase my property. They didn't tell me why. It was just the manager, though. It wasn't actually one of the executives. And he was a little bit rude about it, probably not intentional. And then I discovered I actually have rail because I have some contacts at CSX. Well, from that, a lot has actually came up. So if you own a piece of land and you want to understand a little bit more about rail, stay tuned. Here we go. All right, so first thing is, let me put this down for a second so I got to actually go over some of this paperwork with you. So I've got a little bit of a list. So the first thing is you need to understand who is the rail company that is right next to you. So that could be CSX, that could be Amtrak, that could be any kind of who owns that rail, right? That's the first step. Discover from them who owns it. Then you want to ask for the Industrial Development Department and ask for who's the senior rep for the Industrial Development Department. That person is then going to tell you, can you actually put a rail spur, or was there a rail spur on that property at one time? They're going to let you know really quick if that's accurate or not. Now, what's going to happen as well, what I discovered is if you could put one rail spur on, sometimes you could put two. You want to also look for who are the neighbors next to your property. I didn't even think about it until I was clicking around, and then what I found was my neighbor is CSX. It's literally the rail company. So, which is amazing, just FYI. So then you got to figure out, okay, what's the next steps? Well, they don't sell anything, so you could ask the senior industrial director. That's usually the actual calling of his position. And then you could ask them, say, hey, would you guys consider selling it? What would you rather do? A lot of times they want to do a 99-year land lease, okay? Which is awesome because a lot of companies doing land leases. The main reason why is taxability. They don't get taxes heavy. So what I discovered was I had the conversation with CSX and they said yes. So now I'm having conversations with three other companies right now that now we discovered we could put two spur lines that will create about 30 to 35 rail cars. I think that's what they call it, rail cars on our site. It'll be two rail spurs, one going to my neighbor because they still want to purchase it. They're flying in from Canada next week. And then I've got another one coming in that potentially we have some other buyers already that they're already talking with us. And this property is not even on the market at all. So, and this is in Central Florida, Lakeland, Florida, on a 4-acre site. And I find it super fascinating. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you get conceptual plans done by a civil engineer that specializes in rail. And you can get a referral from the industrial department that you're dealing with at the train company. Usually it could be like America Track, WJ Sapp, or a private individual that they just refer out that they really like. Like I'm dealing with this guy named Patrick. Man, he's awesome. Salt of the earth kind of guy. Rail guys are different. Like they just remind me of like when I was in the military of just like hard ass workers, man. I enjoy just having conversations with them. And mind me, as a kid, I used to play with rail cars. Like I remember this was a big deal. Like I remember choo-choo trains and everything. Like I remember that. And I was like, how cool is it? As an adult, I'm dealing with this now. Like, I don't know. It's just cool to me. So here's a couple of things. Remember, look at your neighbor, see who owns the lot next to you as well. If you have rail on your site, see if they would do a land lease or sale. You want to see who's the civil engineer that they actually recommend as well. So these are 3 things that you could think about if you have rail on your site or if you're dealing with a site that potentially have rail. And if your site is even next to a rail, you could always ask for a rail spur. What would that look like? If I already had rail on my site, so now we're doing a rail upgrade on one portion, but the other portion we're going to have to get a brand new permit. And, permits take the same time as anything else. You've got to get the plans done. You got to get the horizontal plans done, vertical plans done if you're going to do some kind of depot. If not, even just the horizontal plans, and technically vertical, I guess, will be the rail spur coming in. But you got to do the horizontal, which is all the groundwork. it's just fascinating. So I'm just kind of sharing this. There's a lot more to it, but I don't want to make this video crazy long. I'll share more to it later on, but it really, what's cool to me as well is you get to have the possibility of really helping your community, like for real, which is amazing because you get to actually bring down the cost of specific items, hopefully, next to like concrete, right? So if we have Cemex that is interested and they actually do it, now we know we can get actually, we can work out a deal that we can get a better rate, me as a developer for my buildings. And that's something that I can negotiate with Cemex, because now I know they're getting the product over here a little bit cheaper at scale. So we can negotiate, or fertilizer, or whatever that is, but you have the capability of then, building a better product, of whatever you're building because of the connections that you're making when it comes down to the rail service that you're providing for your city. This is huge. So hopefully this helps anybody that has land that's behind rail, or you're dealing with rail, or just you're kind of nerding out just like I do when it comes down to development, and it's just a new asset class that you're just like, I didn't even know this shit existed. This is amazing. So anyway, hopefully this helps. Also, anything that you're getting out of this, I'm super curious. What's your thoughts on this? What do you think about rail? What fascinates you about it? Do you have something that you're working on? Leave it in the comments, because I do check every single comment. Because I just kind of nerd out on this stuff already. Like I really enjoy the aspects of like, man, this is super cool. It's not boring stuff at all. That's kind of why I always got into real estate, why I got out of the military when I was in, was like, I never wanted to live my life saying, what if? I just wanted to give it a shot. Even if I slept at my dad's house on the couch, I just wanted to go all in, man. That's it. Even if I got to sleep here at the office, which I have. All right. Hopefully you get something out of this. Bye.